The origins of the Black Templars are deeply rooted in the aftermath of the Horus Heresy, a cataclysmic civil war that forever reshaped the Imperium of Man. With the traitors defeated, but the Imperium left in ruins, Rogal Dorn, Primarch of the Imperial Fists, faced the difficult task of restructuring his legion to comply with the newly written Codex Astartes. This document, authored by Guilliman, dictated that the massive Space Marine legions were to be divided into smaller chapters of roughly 1,000 warriors to prevent any future rebellion on the scale of Horus's betrayal. While Guilliman viewed this as a necessity for the survival of the Imperium, Dorn initially resisted the decree, believing it to undermine the unity and strength of the Astartes. However, recognizing the need for stability in the wake of such widespread destruction, Dorn reluctantly agreed. Among the chapters created during the Second Founding, the Black Templars emerged as one of the most unique and fervent. Their creation was directly tied to Sigismund, the Emperor's first champion and one of the most celebrated warriors of the Imperial Fists. Sigismund's reputation was forged during the Great Crusade and solidified in the Horus Heresy, where his unyielding faith and martial prowess earned him the role of the Emperor's chosen duelist. He was a figure of both awe and devotion, embodying the ideals of honor, duty, and relentless zeal. Following the heresy, Rogal Dorn entrusted Sigismund with the formation of a new chapter. This decision was not merely based on Sigismund's combat skills, but on his unwavering belief in the Emperor's divine mission. Dorn recognized that Sigismund's fervor and vision could inspire a new generation of Space Marines to take the fight to the galaxy's enemies. Thus, the Black Templars were born, carrying forward not just the genetic legacy of the Imperial Fists, but also a spiritual and martial tradition rooted in Sigismund's own uncompromising faith. Sigismund's influence on the Black Templars cannot be overstated. His belief that the Emperor was a god, an idea that ran contrary to the imperial truth espoused during the Great Crusade, became a cornerstone of the chapter's identity. While many Space Marine chapters regard the Emperor as a revered but mortal figure, the Black Templars embrace him as a divine being, central to their martial creed and purpose. Sigismund's faith set the tone for the chapter's deeply religious character, which would come to define their actions and philosophy. As the first High Marshal of the Black Templars, Sigismund established the practice of the Eternal Crusade, a continuous and unending war against the enemies of humanity. For Sigismund, the galaxy's countless threats, be they Xenos, heretics, or traitors, demanded eternal vigilance and action. This philosophy reflected his belief that the Emperor's work was far from complete, and that it was the duty of the Black Templars to carry out his divine will. The chapter's fleet-based structure allowed them to pursue this goal without being tied to a single homeworld, granting them unparalleled flexibility and reach across the galaxy. Sigismund also imbued the chapter with a strict sense of discipline and ritual. The traditions he established, such as the swearing of sacred oaths and the recitation of battle prayers, became central to the Black Templars' culture. He emphasized the importance of martial purity and unyielding resolve, ensuring that his warriors would never falter in the face of adversity. These practices were not merely ceremonial. They reinforced the chapter's unity and dedication, creating a brotherhood bound by shared purpose and unwavering faith. The Black Templars' creation marked a significant departure from the structure and mindset of their parent legion. While the Imperial Fists retained their adherence to the Codex Astartes, the Black Templars rejected many of its provisions, particularly the limitation on the number of warriors within a chapter. This defiance, while controversial, was tolerated due to the Black Templars' undeniable loyalty and effectiveness. Sigismund's leadership ensured that the chapter remained steadfastly devoted to the emperor, even as they operated outside the strictures of Guilliman's codex. The legacy of the Imperial Fists is evident in the Black Templars' fortitude and dedication, but it is Sigismund's vision and zeal that truly defined them. His unshakable belief in the emperor's divinity and his commitment to eternal war have shaped the chapter into one of the most unique and uncompromising forces in the Imperium. The Black Templars carry forward not only the genetic lineage of the Imperial Fists, but also the indomitable spirit of their first High Marshal, ensuring that Sigismund's legacy lives on in every oath sworn and every blade raised in the Emperor's name. Building upon their origins under Sigismund, the Eternal Crusade is the defining hallmark of the Black Templars chapter. Unlike the majority of Space Marine chapters, who establish a single homeworld from which to recruit and organize their forces, the Black Templars operate as a fleet-based chapter, perpetually on the move. This unique approach reflects their fundamental philosophy that the Emperor's work is far from complete, and that no corner of the galaxy is free from the taint of heresy, Xenos threats, or corruption. To the Black Templars, settling on a single world would mean complacency, a betrayal of their sacred duty to wage war without end in the Emperor's name. The Eternal Crusade began with Sigismund himself, who decreed that the Black Templars would forever dedicate themselves to an unbroken campaign of war. Unlike most Space Marine chapters, whose operations are bound by the constraints of territory or defensive responsibilities, the Black Templars are untethered, able to strike wherever the need is greatest. This constant state of warfare has defined the chapter's existence for over 10,000 years, with every battle they fight serving as a continuation of Sigismund's original vision. For the Black Templars, there is no concept of peace or respite, only the next enemy to be confronted and destroyed. The decision to adopt a fleet-based structure was not merely a practical one, but a deliberate rejection of the limitations imposed by the Codex Astartes. While other chapters organize their forces into fixed companies and garrison worlds, the Black Templars operate across a vast network of war fleets, each led by a marshal who commands their crusade with relative autonomy. These fleets are more than mobile armies. They are sanctuaries of faith, armories of war, and recruitment hubs all in one. Each fleet carries the traditions, relics, and warriors of the chapter, ensuring that the Black Templars' purpose remains undiluted across the galaxy. The Eternal Crusade allows the Black Templars unparalleled strategic flexibility. Their fleet-based nature enables them to respond rapidly to threats anywhere in the Imperium, often intervening in conflicts long before other Imperial forces can be mobilized. This has made them an invaluable asset to the Imperium, particularly in sectors where chaos, Xenos incursions, or rebellion have taken root. A Black Templar fleet can arrive unexpectedly, bringing overwhelming force and zeal to bear against the enemies of mankind. Their reputation for sudden and decisive action has made them both feared and respected across the galaxy. The decentralized nature of the Black Templars' crusades also means that their total strength often far exceeds the Codex Astartes' prescribed limit of 1,000 warriors per chapter. While each crusade fleet operates independently, collectively, the Black Templars maintain numbers that dwarf those of most other chapters. This organizational flexibility has allowed them to maintain a constant presence across multiple war zones simultaneously, fighting battles that range from small skirmishes to galaxy-spanning campaigns. Despite this defiance of the Codex, the Black Templars' unwavering loyalty to the Emperor has ensured that their practices are tolerated, if not fully accepted, by the wider Imperium. Central to the Eternal Crusade is the Black Templars' rejection of the idea that the Emperor's Great Crusade ever truly ended. For them, the galaxy is still a battleground, and the enemies of humanity are as numerous and insidious as they were in the days of the Horus heresy. This belief drives their relentless pursuit of war, as they see themselves as the Emperor's chosen instruments, continuing his divine mission. The concept of retreat or surrender is anathema to the Black Templars, whose warriors swear solemn oaths to achieve victory or die in the attempt. Every crusade is a holy endeavor, and every battle is a step closer to fulfilling their sacred duty. The chapter's fleet-based nature also shapes their recruitment practices. Unlike chapters with a single homeworld, the Black Templars draw new recruits from countless planets across the Imperium. These worlds often serve as temporary staging grounds during a crusade, with potential aspirants chosen from among the local population. This decentralized recruitment process ensures a steady flow of new initiates while spreading the influence of the Black Templars far and wide. Many of these aspirants are drawn to the chapter's unyielding faith and martial prowess, seeing the chance to serve as a Black Templar as the ultimate honor. Within the fleets themselves, the traditions of the Black Templars are upheld with strict devotion. Each crusade fleet functions as a microcosm of the chapter, complete with its own relics, chaplains, and sacred rituals. The warriors of the Black Templars live and fight aboard their massive battle barges and strike cruisers, where they dedicate themselves to rigorous training, prayer, and the swearing of oaths. These oaths, often taken before battle, serve as solemn vows to fulfill specific objectives, such as slaying a particular enemy or capturing a vital stronghold. Failure to uphold an oath is considered a profound dishonor, and the Black Templars will go to extraordinary lengths to see their vows fulfilled. The Eternal Crusade is more than just a military strategy. It is a way of life that defines every aspect of the Black Templars' existence. It reflects their belief that the Emperor's light must be carried to every corner of the galaxy, no matter the cost. This relentless pursuit of war has earned them a fearsome reputation among the Imperium's enemies, who know that the arrival of a Black Templar fleet means annihilation. For the Imperium itself, the Black Templars are a symbol of unyielding devotion and martial excellence, a chapter that has never faltered in its commitment to the Emperor's will. In the vast and hostile expanse of the galaxy, the Eternal Crusade ensures that the Black Templars remain a constant presence, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies and inspiring awe among the Imperium's citizens. It is a testament to their enduring legacy, forged in the fires of the Horus heresy and carried forward with unrelenting zeal. Through their fleets, their oaths, and their unbroken campaign of war, the Black Templars continue to fulfill the vision of their first High Marshal, ensuring that the Emperor's name is spoken with reverence and fear on every world they touch. As the Eternal Crusade became the defining strategy of the Black Templars, it naturally led to an aspect of their identity that has sparked controversy across the Imperium: their open defiance of the Codex Astartes. This seminal document, authored by Guilliman in the aftermath of the Horus heresy, was designed to prevent any future rebellions like that of Horus. By dividing the massive Space Marine legions into smaller chapters of approximately 1,000 warriors each, Guilliman sought to decentralize power and impose order upon the Adeptus Astartes. For most chapters, adherence to the Codex Astartes became a mark of loyalty to the Imperium and its survival. The Black Templars, however, took a very different path. From their inception, the Black Templars have interpreted the Codex Astartes not as an inviolable set of laws, but as a guideline subordinate to their higher purpose, the prosecution of the Eternal Crusade. This perspective is rooted in their unique origins under Sigismund, who instilled in the chapter a focus on action and zeal above bureaucratic compliance. To the Black Templars, adherence to the Emperor's divine mission takes precedence over Guilliman's legislative decrees. The Codex's most significant mandate, that a chapter must limit its numbers to 1,000 warriors, has been quietly ignored by the Black Templars for millennia. The structure of the Black Templars allows them to bypass the Codex's limitations with plausible deniability. Unlike more traditional chapters, the Black Templars are not organized into 10 fixed companies. Instead, their warriors are divided across numerous independent crusade fleets, each led by a marshal. This decentralization makes it exceedingly difficult to determine the chapter's true size at any given time. While individual crusade fleets may appear to conform to Codex standards, the combined strength of the Black Templars across the galaxy often exceeds the prescribed limit by a significant margin. Some estimates suggest that the chapter fields tens of thousands of warriors, though their exact numbers remain a closely guarded secret. This defiance of the Codex Astartes has led to tensions between the Black Templars and the more traditionalist elements of the Imperium, particularly the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Terra. These institutions, responsible for maintaining order within the Imperium, have occasionally questioned the legality of the Black Templars' practices. However, such scrutiny is often tempered by the chapter's impeccable record of loyalty and service. The Black Templars have never wavered in their devotion to the Emperor, nor have they displayed the self-serving ambition that marked Horus and the traitor legions. Their actions, while unconventional, have consistently demonstrated an unshakable commitment to the Imperium's defense. The Black Templars' defiance raises an important question about the Codex Astartes itself. Was Guilliman's vision flawed? The Codex was designed to address the specific circumstances of the post-heresy era, when the Imperium was reeling from the betrayal of the traitor legions. Its rules impose strict limits on the size and organization of Space Marine chapters to prevent the rise of another Horus-like figure. However, The galaxy of the 41st millennium is vastly different from that of the Great Crusade's aftermath. The scale of threats facing the Imperium, be they Xenos invasions, chaos incursions, or internal rebellion, arguably requires a more flexible and dynamic approach than the Codex allows. For the Black Templars, their fleet-based structure and numerical strength have proven indispensable in responding to these threats. Their ability to maintain multiple Crusade fleets simultaneously has allowed them to fight on numerous fronts, supporting Imperial forces where they are most needed. Unlike chapters bound to a single homeworld or rigid organizational structure, the Black Templars can adapt to the ever-shifting demands of the battlefield. This adaptability, while at odds with the Codex's rigidity, has undeniably contributed to the Imperium's survival. At the heart of the debate lies the question of loyalty versus conformity. The Black Templars have demonstrated that it is possible to deviate from the Codex Astartes while remaining fiercely loyal to the Emperor and his vision. Their defiance is not born of arrogance or self-interest, but of a sincere belief that their methods are the most effective way to serve the Imperium. This distinction sets them apart from the traitor legions, whose rejection of the Emperor's authority was rooted in ambition and corruption. The Black Templars' actions, while unconventional, are always guided by their unwavering faith in the Emperor's divinity and their commitment to his cause. This tension between tradition and practicality is further highlighted by the reawakening of Guilliman in the modern era. As the resurrected Primarch of the Ultramarines and the architect of the Codex Astartes, Guilliman has undoubtedly taken note of the Black Templars' practices. However, his focus on the survival of the Imperium in the face of the Great Rift and the Indomitus Crusade has likely tempered any desire to impose stricter compliance. In many ways, the Black Templars embody the adaptability and resolve that Guilliman himself now champions, even if they do so outside the bounds of his original vision. The Black Templars' defiance of the Codex Astartes is both a challenge and a testament to the enduring complexity of the Imperium. It highlights the tension between rigid doctrine and the need for flexibility in the face of a galaxy-spanning war. While some may view their practices as heretical, the results speak for themselves. The Black Templars are one of the Imperium's most effective and dedicated chapters, their countless victories ensuring humanity's survival in an age of unending conflict. Their actions force the Imperium to grapple with a difficult truth, that loyalty and service to the Emperor may sometimes require breaking the rules written in his name. The Black Templars are unparalleled in their devotion to the imperial cult and their unwavering faith in the Emperor as a divine being. This deeply religious nature sets them apart not only from many other Space Marine chapters, but also from the broader Adeptus Astartes, who traditionally view the Emperor as a mortal figure rather than a god. For the Black Templars, the Emperor is far more than a revered leader or a symbolic ideal. He is the omnipotent, guiding force of humanity, the one true deity whose will they are sworn to enact. This profound belief informs every aspect of their culture, their warfare, and their daily existence. Faith is not just a personal conviction for the Black Templars, it is woven into the very fabric of their chapter. Before every battle, the Black Templars engage in solemn rituals, reciting battle prayers and swearing oaths of moment to reaffirm their commitment to the Emperor and their mission. These practices are more than mere ceremony. They are acts of devotion that bind the warriors to their purpose and strengthen their resolve. The oaths taken by the Black Templars are highly specific, often tied to particular objectives, such as slaying a heretical leader, defending a sacred relic, or purging an area of Xenos infestation. Failure to uphold these oaths is unthinkable, as it represents not only a tactical failure, but also a spiritual failing. Their faith is further exemplified by the presence of chaplains who play a central role within the chapter. These spiritual leaders are more than battlefield commanders. They are the keepers of the Black Templars' religious fervor. Chaplains lead prayers, oversee the swearing of oaths, and ensure that the warriors remain unwavering in their devotion. Their sermons often invoke the Emperor's divine will, framing every battle as a holy crusade against the forces of darkness. Chaplains are also responsible for identifying and anointing the Emperor's champion, a warrior chosen through visions to embody the chapter's martial and spiritual ideals in battle. This religious zeal has shaped the Black Templars' approach to warfare. They view every engagement as a sacred duty, a manifestation of the Emperor's will. Their tactics emphasize close combat, where their warriors can directly confront the enemies of humanity and purge them with blade and bolt. The purity of hand-to-hand combat resonates deeply with their spiritual beliefs, as it allows them to physically enact the Emperor's judgment. The Black Templars' reliance on melee combat is not simply a matter of practicality, but a reflection of their conviction that faith and courage can overcome any foe. One of the most striking consequences of their faith is the chapter's distrust of psychers. Unlike many other Space Marine chapters that employ librarians to harness the powers of the warp, the Black Templars reject the use of psychers entirely. To them, psychers represent a dangerous corruption, a taint that threatens to undermine the purity of the Emperor's vision. This distrust extends beyond their own ranks to imperial institutions that rely on psychers, such as the Adeptus Astra Telepathica. While the Black Templars tolerate the existence of sanctioned psychers as a necessary evil, they maintain a strict separation from such practices within their own chapter. Instead of relying on psychic powers, the Black Templars place their faith in the Emperor's protection and their own martial skill. They believe that the purity of their devotion shields them from the corrupting influence of the warp, a conviction that has been borne out in countless battles. This reliance on faith over sorcery has earned them respect from many within the Imperium, particularly among the ecclesiarchy, but it has also isolated them from chapters and organizations that view psychic powers as indispensable tools in humanity's survival. The Black Templars' spiritual practices also extend to their treatment of relics and symbols of the Emperor's divinity. Their fleets are filled with sacred artifacts, each one a testament to the chapter's long history and devotion. These relics are not merely tokens of the past, but active symbols of the Emperor's presence, carried into battle to inspire the warriors and demoralize the enemy. Chaplains and marshals often lead processions to venerate these relics, reinforcing the chapter's unity and reminding every Templar of the sacred duty they bear. This zeal, while a source of strength, has also led to tension with other imperial institutions. The Adeptus Mechanicus, for example, has occasionally clashed with the Black Templars over their treatment of ancient technology, which the chapter views through a religious lens rather than a purely technical one. Similarly, the Black Templars' uncompromising stance on psychers and their aggressive tactics have at times put them at odds with the more methodical strategies of other Space Marine chapters. However, these differences are tolerated, if not entirely accepted, due to the Black Templars' undeniable effectiveness and their unshakable loyalty to the Emperor. The Black Templars' faith also serves as a unifying force within their chapter. The rituals, prayers, and oaths create a shared sense of purpose among the warriors, binding them together in a brotherhood of devotion. This unity is particularly important given the decentralized nature of the chapter, with its many crusade fleets operating independently across the galaxy. Despite their physical separation, the Black Templars remain spiritually connected, their faith providing a common foundation that transcends distance. The Black Templars' religious fervor is not without its critics, even within the Imperium. Some argue that their zealous approach can lead to recklessness, particularly in battles where their single-minded focus on close combat might expose them to unnecessary risks. Others question whether their rejection of psychers leaves them vulnerable to warp-based threats that other chapters are better equipped to handle. Yet, for the Black Templars, these criticisms are irrelevant. They measure their success not in terms of compliance with imperial norms, but in the fulfillment of their sacred duty to the Emperor. In a galaxy consumed by darkness and corruption, the faith and zealotry of the Black Templars stand as a beacon of unyielding devotion. Their belief in the Emperor as a divine being shapes every aspect of their existence, driving them to acts of heroism and sacrifice that few others could match. For the Black Templars, their faith is not a weakness or a limitation. It is the source of their strength, a force that empowers them to face the galaxy's horrors with unshakable resolve. Through their prayers, their oaths, and their unrelenting crusade, the Black Templars ensure that the Emperor's light continues to burn no matter how dark the galaxy becomes. The Emperor's champion, as a tradition, is deeply intertwined with the Black Templars' unrelenting zealotry and spiritual fervor flowing naturally from their faith-driven culture. After all, in a chapter where every warrior already embodies an intense devotion to the Emperor, the elevation of one among them as his personal representative is not merely symbolic, it is central to their identity. This figure, selected through a divine process beyond mortal control, becomes a singular force on the battlefield, representing the Emperor's will with both blade and conviction. This sacred tradition is ignited by a pivotal moment. A warrior, seemingly at random, but never without purpose, is struck by intense visions of the Emperor. These visions are not vague impressions, but vivid and overwhelming directives that leave no room for doubt. The chosen Templar becomes consumed with a sense of duty far beyond their previous role. It is this moment, more than any rank or station, that marks their ascension to the role of Emperor's champion. Once chosen, the individual's path shifts entirely. They are no longer a part of their crusade fleet in the conventional sense, instead becoming a living symbol of the Emperor's divine favor. Upon selection, a ritual transformation begins. The chosen champion is ceremoniously clad in ancient black armor, a suit of artificer-crafted plate adorned with purity seals inscriptions of holy litanies, and adorned with relics passed down from the chapter's earliest days. This armor is distinct from their previous war gear, designed not only to protect, but to convey their status as a divine instrument of judgment. They are also entrusted with the Black Sword, a weapon of immense historical and symbolic value. Wielding this blade is both an honor and a burden. It is a reminder that their life is no longer their own, but belongs entirely to the Emperor's cause. What makes the Emperor's champion distinct among the Templars is their singular focus in battle. Unlike chaplains, who lead and inspire, or marshals, who command and strategize, the champion serves as an executioner of the Emperor's justice. Their primary objective on the battlefield is to identify and confront the most dangerous enemy present. Whether it is a Xenos warlord, a chaos demon prince, or a heretical leader, the champion charges into the fray with unwavering determination, unburdened by the distractions of command or survival. For them, the victory lies not in living to see another day, but in fulfilling their purpose as the Emperor's hand. The origins of this tradition can be traced back to Sigismund, the first High Marshal of the Black Templars and the Emperor's original champion. During the Horus Heresy, Sigismund was selected by the Emperor himself to confront the greatest threats on the battlefield. His unyielding faith and unmatched skill in single combat cemented his legacy as the template for all future champions. Unlike other traditions that have evolved over time, the Black Templars have preserved this practice largely unchanged, considering it sacred and immutable. Throughout the chapter's long history, countless Emperor's champions have risen to prominence, their deeds leaving an indelible mark on the chapter's legacy. For instance, during the Gothic War, an Emperor's champion led the Templars' forces in boarding actions against the Blackstone fortresses, facing the corrupted powers of chaos head-on, and ensuring the Imperium's victory in a conflict that could have devastated entire sectors. Such champions are remembered not only for their victories, but for their symbolic role in reinforcing the chapter's identity and its unbreakable bond with the Emperor. The Third War for Armageddon offers another example of how the Emperor's champion's presence shapes the battlefield. During this campaign, a champion of the Templars famously led an assault on orc-held positions, carving through enemy lines with the Black Sword and turning the tide of what had seemed like an unwinnable engagement. These moments exemplify the champion's ability to change the course of history through sheer conviction and martial prowess, embodying the ideals of the Black Templars in their purest form. It is important to note that the role of the Emperor's champion does not end with victory or survival. Many champions meet their end in the thick of combat, their duty fulfilled in the act of sacrifice. Unlike other warriors, their deaths are not seen as losses, but as the ultimate expression of loyalty and purpose. Their remains, if recoverable, are treated with immense reverence, often interred within the chapter's most sacred reliquaries. Their armor and weapons are restored and preserved, awaiting the next Templar who will carry on the tradition. This tradition has also created tension with other imperial factions. The Adeptus Mechanicus, for example, has at times questioned the preservation and continued use of such ancient war gear, viewing it as an inefficiency compared to modern alternatives. Similarly, Guilliman's Resurrection and the introduction of the Primaris Space Marines have raised questions about whether this tradition will adapt or endure in its current form. However, for the Black Templars, the Emperor's Champion is far more than a tactical role. It is a spiritual necessity. To abandon or alter this practice would be unthinkable, a betrayal of the values that define them. As the galaxy faces new and ever greater threats, the tradition of the Emperor's Champion continues to prove its worth. Each new champion carries the weight of the chapter's history, standing as a living reminder of their sacred duty to the Emperor. While the role may seem anachronistic in an age of advanced technology and interstellar warfare, their presence on the battlefield reminds both allies and enemies that faith and conviction remain among the most powerful weapons in the Imperium's arsenal. For the Black Templars, the Emperor's Champion is not just a warrior. He is the Emperor's will made flesh, the vanguard of humanity's eternal struggle against the darkness. The great crusades of the Black Templars demonstrate the chapter's unparalleled ability to wage war across the galaxy. Their fleet-based organization and singular zeal for the Emperor's cause have allowed them to undertake some of the Imperium's most significant and far-reaching campaigns, striking fear into humanity's enemies and stabilizing regions teetering on the brink of collapse. These crusades, driven by faith and martial discipline, highlight the chapter's versatility and their critical role in the Imperium's survival. One of the most well-known examples of the Black Templars' impact is their involvement in the Third War for Armageddon, a brutal conflict against the Orc warlord Gazkul Mag Uruk Thraka. Armageddon, a vital industrial world, was under siege by a seemingly endless tide of orcs, threatening not only the planet, but the surrounding systems. The Black Templars were among the first Space Marine chapters to respond, deploying multiple Crusade fleets to the war-torn world. Their fleet-based nature allowed them to quickly converge from disparate regions, striking at key orc positions with precision and ferocity. The Black Templars excelled in the city fighting and trench warfare that defined the campaign, reclaiming hive cities and destroying critical orc supply lines through sheer determination and tactical brilliance. In addition to their combat prowess, the Black Templars' unwavering faith served as an inspiration to the beleaguered defenders of Armageddon. Their oaths and battle prayers resonated not only among their own warriors, but also with the Imperial Guard and local militias fighting alongside them. This ability to bolster morale and unify disparate forces under a common cause was pivotal in turning the tide of the war. The Black Templars' actions on Armageddon reinforced their reputation as one of the Imperium's most dedicated and effective chapters, capable of holding the line even against seemingly insurmountable odds. Another significant campaign that showcased the Black Templars' strategic reach and flexibility was the Macarian Crusade, led by the legendary Lord Solar Macarius. This monumental effort aimed to reclaim vast swaths of the galaxy that had fallen into darkness during the millennia of the Imperium's decline. The Black Templars played a crucial role in the Crusade's success, operating on its most dangerous and remote fronts. Their fleet-based structure allowed them to strike deep into enemy territory, bypassing fortified positions to target critical Xenos strongholds and heretical enclaves. The Black Templars' willingness to fight in the harshest conditions, far from resupply or reinforcement, made them an invaluable asset in Macarius's grand vision. The Jericho Reach Crusade is another example of the Black Templars' ability to wage sustained, galaxy-spanning warfare. Operating in a region overrun by Xenos and Chaos forces, the Templars demonstrated their adaptability and resilience by launching a series of coordinated strikes that disrupted enemy supply lines and fractured their command structures. Their fleet mobility and decentralized command structure enabled them to outmaneuver larger and more static enemy forces, delivering decisive blows that allowed other Imperial forces to reclaim critical worlds. The Black Templars' actions in Jericho Reach exemplify their ability to balance strategic vision with the uncompromising zeal that defines their approach to war. What distinguishes the Black Templars in these campaigns is not just their military effectiveness, but their ability to operate independently while maintaining alignment with broader Imperial objectives. Unlike chapters bound to a single homeworld or reliant on centralized command, the Black Templars' crusade fleets function as autonomous units, each led by a marshal with the authority to adapt tactics and strategy to the unique challenges of their theater of war. This flexibility allows the chapter to respond rapidly to emerging threats, whether defending a vital system under siege or launching preemptive strikes deep into hostile territory. The Black Templars' Great Crusades also serve a dual purpose, purging the Imperium's enemies and reinforcing its spiritual and structural stability. Their presence in a war zone often inspires loyalty and faith among Imperial citizens who see the Templars as living embodiments of the Emperor's divine will. In many cases, their campaigns have not only eradicated external threats, but also stamped out internal dissent, rooting out heretical cults or rebellious factions that might otherwise destabilize the region. The chapter's zeal for purity and order ensures that the worlds they reclaim remain firmly aligned with the Imperium's vision. Despite their successes, the Black Templars' methods are not without controversy. Their refusal to adhere strictly to the Codex Astartes, combined with their preference for close-quarters combat, has sometimes led to higher than expected casualties. Additionally, their disdain for psychers and reliance on faith alone can create friction when operating alongside more pragmatic Imperial forces. However, these perceived weaknesses are often outweighed by the results they achieve. The Black Templars' ability to inspire, adapt, and overcome ensures that their campaigns consistently deliver victory in even the most dire circumstances. The Great Crusades of the Black Templars are a testament to the enduring power of their traditions and the foresight of their founder, Sigismund. By rejecting the constraints of a fixed homeworld and embracing a fleet-based, crusading ethos, the chapter has positioned itself as one of the Imperium's most versatile and effective forces. Their campaigns have not only defended humanity against its countless enemies, but also strengthened the spiritual foundation of the Imperium, ensuring that faith in the Emperor remains unshaken even in the darkest of times. As the galaxy faces unprecedented challenges in the wake of the Great Rift, the Black Templars' role in leading massive, coordinated crusades is more critical than ever. Their ability to operate independently while pursuing the Emperor's grand vision makes them indispensable to the Imperium's survival. Through their unwavering commitment to the Eternal Crusade, the Black Templars continue to embody the spirit of humanity's unyielding resistance, proving time and again that faith, discipline, and determination can overcome any threat. The modern era has brought profound challenges and opportunities for the Black Templars, yet their enduring legacy as paragons of faith and martial zeal ensures they remain a cornerstone of the Imperium's defense. Following the devastating opening of the Great Rift, a warp storm that split the galaxy in two, the Black Templars found themselves at the forefront of a new and desperate war for humanity's survival. The resulting chaos has only deepened their commitment to the Eternal Crusade, reinforcing their belief that unyielding faith in the Emperor is humanity's ultimate weapon against the darkness. The Indomitus Crusade, launched by Guilliman, marked a turning point for the Imperium and the Black Templars alike. This monumental campaign was Guilliman's answer to the catastrophic threats unleashed by the Great Rift, aimed at reinforcing beleaguered worlds and restoring order to sectors plunged into anarchy. The Black Templars, with their fleet-based structure and decentralized organization, were uniquely positioned to participate in this massive effort. Their crusade fleets became critical elements of the Indomitus Crusade, striking deep into warp-ravaged territories, reclaiming lost systems, and purging the Xenos and Chaos forces that sought to exploit the Imperium's vulnerability. While the Black Templars' participation in the Indomitus Crusade highlighted their strategic value, it also brought them into direct contact with Primarch Guilliman and his sweeping reforms. Guilliman's return to the Imperium was heralded by many as a miracle, but for the Black Templars, his resurrection carried complex implications. The chapter has always maintained an uneasy relationship with the Codex Astartes, the foundational document authored by Guilliman after the Horus heresy. Their open defiance of the Codex's mandates, particularly the 1,000 warrior limit, placed them at odds with Guilliman's vision of order and standardization. Despite this, Guilliman has recognized their unwavering loyalty and has chosen to tolerate their deviations, understanding that the Black Templars' unique methods are a product of their faith and fervor. One of the most significant changes brought by the Indomitus Crusade was the introduction of the Primaris Space Marines, a new generation of genetically enhanced warriors created through the efforts of Archmagos Belisarius Caul. These Primaris Marines, equipped with advanced war gear and improved physiology, were intended to bolster the Adeptus Astartes in the face of mounting threats. For the Black Templars, the acceptance of Primaris warriors was not without contention. As a chapter steeped in tradition and ritual, the introduction of these new warriors raised questions about their compatibility with the Black Templars' practices and beliefs. The Black Templars eventually incorporated Primaris Marines into their ranks, but not without ensuring that these newcomers adhered to the chapter's rigorous spiritual and martial standards. Before being fully accepted, Primaris initiates undergo trials that test not only their combat prowess, but also their faith and devotion to the Emperor. This process ensures that the Primaris Marines align with the chapter's deeply religious ethos, preserving the traditions that have defined the Black Templars for millennia. The integration of Primaris warriors has strengthened the chapter's capabilities, enabling them to field even larger and more formidable crusade forces without compromising their core identity. The challenges of the modern era have also reinforced the Black Templars' role as symbols of unwavering loyalty to the Emperor. While their defiance of the Codex Astartes has often drawn criticism, it has also demonstrated their ability to adapt to the Imperium's needs without sacrificing their principles. The Black Templars have proven time and again that their unique approach to warfare, rooted in faith, flexibility, and relentless zeal, is not only effective, but essential in an age where the Imperium faces threats on an unprecedented scale. Their legacy is further underscored by their enduring commitment to the imperial cult and their role as spiritual exemplars within the Adeptus Astartes. In a galaxy where the lines between faith and survival often blur, the Black Templars have remained steadfast in their belief that the Emperor is a divine figure, guiding humanity through the trials of existence. This conviction continues to inspire Imperial citizens and allied forces alike, providing hope and unity in the face of overwhelming despair. However, the Black Templars' steadfastness does not mean they are static. The realities of the 41st millennium have forced the chapter to adapt to new technologies, evolving threats, and the changing dynamics of the Imperium. Their participation in the Indomitus Crusade and their acceptance of Primaris Marines illustrate their ability to evolve while remaining true to their foundational values. This balance between tradition and adaptability is a hallmark of their legacy, ensuring their continued relevance in a galaxy where rigid adherence to old ways often spells doom. As the Eternal Crusade continues, the Black Templars stand as both a testament to the enduring power of faith and a reminder of the complexity of loyalty within the Imperium. They have carved out a unique place within the Adeptus Astartes, defying conventional norms while embodying the Emperor's will with unparalleled fervor. Their actions in the Indomitus Crusade and beyond highlight their indispensable role in the Imperium's survival, proving that faith, discipline, and a willingness to adapt are the keys to enduring in an age of unending war. The Black Templars' legacy is one of contrasts, rebels against the Codex Astartes, yet paragons of loyalty to the Emperor, traditionalists in faith, yet pragmatic in war, decentralized in structure, yet united in purpose. These contradictions are not weaknesses, but strengths, enabling the chapter to thrive in a galaxy that demands both resolve and resilience. As they continue their crusades across the stars, the Black Templars remain a beacon of hope and defiance, a living embodiment of the Emperor's divine mission, and a crucial force in humanity's eternal struggle for survival.